Hey, yo, for the first time in a minute, I don't know nothing about this scenario. Nothing. I guess Andrew Schultz said something. I don't know nothing about this. I just see online that everybody like attacking Andrew Schultz. He said something. I don't know if he was defending Drake, slighting Kendrick. I clearly need this. I need a video to kind of tell me more because I got a blank slate. Like I don't know. Anyway, this video says why Andrew Schultz, Kendrick Lamar disses ended his career. Ending his career is a stretch because he got Charlemagne beside him. Charlemagne would have to like get away from him to do that. But I did see, I guess I've seen some people saying like white man can't talk about the black culture or something crazy like that. I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, I guess we'll check it out. I'll get some understanding. Like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell.
Now, when it comes to Kendrick Lamar in 2024, it seems like no matter who the person he is at odds with is, and no matter what Kendrick says when he is calling them out, whenever somebody has been in any sort of conflict or confrontation with the biggest rapper on the planet right now, they just completely lose all composure and in an attempt to make a response and come back to Kendrick, just end up doing irreversible damage to their own careers instead of doing anything to make him look worse. And now, while earlier in the year, we saw this happen to Drake, of course, and he still hasn't come back from it, now we are seeing another crash out from somebody who tried to clap back at Kendrick Lamar in a much different way with comedian Andrew Schulz, and really with what Schulz just did and how he is handling all of the backlash he is getting from it. If what happened to Drake after Kendrick Lamar has ruined his career in nearly
We're gonna stop this. What happened to Drake? Drake was gonna shoot back, bro. Not doing this shit. Should just stop because shit stopped. We're not doing this. Hey. We not. I don't even know how to like. At some point in time, this dude voice and his conversations irritating. I've been on this shit for 48 seconds. Just talk about shows, bro.
every single way possible, there is almost no way Schultz comes out of this with his career intact. But now, before we go any further into
Why
it,
the
be
fuck
sure
do
to
you
leave a
think
like and
Andrew Schultz's career is dictated on Kendrick Lamar fans? Explain that shit. Like, if we put a bunch of Kendrick Lamar, let's go get 100 Kendrick Lamar fans, and then do a show of hands. How many of y'all watch an Andrew Schultz video or watch his comedy? Nobody's gonna raise their hand. They might watch Brilliant Idiots, but that's because Charlemagne the God's there. So, like, what are we talking about? Like, his career is not dictated on Kendrick Lamar. That's so stupid. They don't even do the same shit.
subscribe, it helps me
Black
out a
people.
ton. And so now, when
So,
it comes to Kendrick Lamar's latest beef, before we even get into what pushed Kendrick to call Schultz out for his questionable actions on his album GNX's intro track, Whacked Out Murals, when we look at Andrew Schultz, beyond being a comedian who just represents everything wrong with comedy in today's day and age, throughout this entire year, Schultz has been a figure in media and pop culture, who that while Kendrick Lamar was on a mission to go after Drake, J. Cole, and just change the direction of where hip hop was going, Schultz constantly bashed Kendrick Lamar and tried to diminish his greatness. And overall, all of Schultz's sentiments were alluding to the fact that Kendrick was a clout chaser for going after Drake,
yeah,
and really for being someone who does not deserve the success and praise that they get.
yeah.
And Schultz never really let up on this standpoint, even after Kendrick clearly won the beef, and like other Drake stands.
Oh my gosh. It's like you can't have an opinion in 2024 without motherfuckers coming at you crazy. The sheep mentality is so irritating. The sheep mentality is so irritating. So like you can't have an opinion. You gotta go along with what everybody's saying. If not, you're either a stand now or you just persecute in a different way. But like you can't have an opinion. My opinion is that this person won or it was like even. I feel like Drake won, and yeah, I feel like it was a clout chase. Everything he do is a lot of clout chasing. You know what I'm saying? It'd be stuff like that. So like, how y'all can get on Schultz for saying his opinion? Like, come on, bro.
Did. He just made excuses when Drake lost and said that Kendrick cheated his way into winning by making false claims and narratives and then stepping over the line, which is going to be important to keep in mind for later. And so now fast forward to today, and after on Whacked Out Murals, when Kendrick Lamar had a line that was clearly calling out Schultz, Schultz has officially responded to Kendrick Lamar on his show, and with what he just decided to cook up after all all things considered and seeing just how much Kendrick Lamar can say about his competition, was a pretty light diss in the grand scheme of it all, even if you want to call it that. What Schulz just did is going to go down as one of the worst responses to being called out in a rap lyric by a celebrity of all time. And beyond just that, Schulz is really going to join someone like his idol Drake for being on one of the greatest crash outs of the entire year. Because with what he said, after acknowledging that Kendrick dissed him, trying to be funny, and talking about how the GNX album is a good record, but that he's just mad because of the diss, after Schulz made it clear that he would never mess with the people who Kendrick Lamar hangs around with, he then went on to say that because of Kendrick Lamar's height, which again, notice these parallels between him and Drake's insults, that he would be able to take on Kendrick because of his size and stature. And with the rest of what Schulz said, I can't even say it in this video because it's really that bad. But for those who don't know, what Schulz went on to say in an entire multi-minute bit where he got into extensive detail of what would go down between him and Kendrick Lamar was the same thing that Drake rapped about happening to Kendrick on The Heart Part 6.
Oh, Schulz said he would kind of rape Kendrick. That's right. Okay. That is weird. You know what I'm saying? That's very weird. But I mean, he's a short guy. I mean, that is very weird. We don't typically go that route when we're, talking about fights and stuff. But that's weird,
And what Drake tried to frame as this moment that ruined his life and made him so against everything the OVO rapper stood for in the first place. And that was, of course, the whole Mother Eye section of the track where Drake misunderstood one of the most devastating and powerful songs Kendrick Lamar has ever wrote, which was about his very own mother's experience.
Bro. It wasn't misinterpreting. It was twisting it. That's all it was. It was like twisting it a little bit. You're like, bruh, yeah, it was you. Either way, I don't know. Either way.
Experience and not his. And as Schulz made what may be the strangest comeback to being dissed ever, everyone went crazy over this. As from people who are close to Kendrick Lamar and from TDE just clearly being baffled with the response, to even Drake fans who are now trying to get a win by saying that Kendrick and his camp are soft, as they are now using the stance that there should be rules in what people can say in a back and forth to try and call Schulz out. There has been so much discourse about this moment, and I think when it comes to this situation at its most fundamental level, I mean, this doesn't take a lot to see, but everyone's supporting Schulz and trying to use this to show that Kendrick Lamar has a double standard for things that he can do but not have used against him. It's just blatantly wrong and lacks a sense of skill to really assess the music and media they interact with. And really,
no, they actually got a point if that's what is being done. If he's saying that I could call you a pedophile and it not be true or no evidence or whatever the case be, I can say that. But then somebody else come back and be like, yo, bro, I'll rape you. Or whatever he said. And he be like, whoa, that's too far. Nah, bro, ain't no too far if you could. Because if it's either one or two things. Either there are rules or there's no rules. Point blank period. Either there are rules or there are not rules. Choose one. So either there are rules or there are not. That's it. If there are rules, then we need to clearly, all right, you can say this, you can do this, this is too far. If there are no rules, then all right.
Really, to support Schulz here, it just goes against the very roots of both rap and comedy as art forms and as these tools of unfiltered expression. Because let's be clear about this. As Andrew Schulz did and showed, he could have said anything he wanted, and that's exactly what he did. But just like if two rappers were beefing, whatever is being used to take down your opponents with words is going to be judged by the people and either rejected or accepted. And to circle back to Kendrick calling out Drake for weird claims and actions, and when it comes to something that both Schulz and others can't understand, Kendrick Lamar calling out Drake for all of his weird actions and claims over the years we have seen worked. Because at the bottom line, it was rooted in reality. And it wasn't just this weird and out of nowhere claim that was saying that he was going to do awful things to Drake. But what Kendrick was saying was actually exposing something that, from what we can see, already had some truth to it. And that maybe a lot of people were just refusing to really see with their own eyes. And so really with Schulz, and just like Drake did with The Heart Part 6, their comments about such a horrible thing, which really, to just frame this in its proper context, if we want to look back at the moment that Kendrick Lamar has rapped about guiding his efforts this year, both on Meet the Grams during the beef and Whacked Out Murals now, which was the Cat Williams Shannon Sharp interview, which is now credited for kicking off this year, that has been all about exposing the truth. And the one thing that stands out to all of these points now is that Cat Williams said here that this horrible action that Schulz and Drake tried to use in these gotcha moments is never funny no matter what the circumstances are. And I mean, this isn't just a rule of comedy or rappy for that matter, but it's just a part of human nature because there are things that no matter how you spin them, and especially with the way Schulz got so into detail, that there is purely no comedic or entertainment value within. And this is the distinction that needs to be made because just like Drake, who was an absolute sore loser and who had nothing left to say, so he decided to resort to one of the worst things that can happen to try and make fun of Kendrick in one of the most tasteless ways we have ever seen in a diss track. Schulz managed to do the same thing, and maybe even in a worse way, which is saying a lot, just because of how much he went on and on about what he was trying.
Drake said, bro, you're obsessed with molestation, and that's why you talk about it so much. That's it. Now, you can say, okay, it happened to you or it happened to your mom. Either way, you have something in your head that flashes on for this one subject, and that's why you bring it to me. That's all Drake said. So, I don't know. This dude with the squeaky-ass white dude with the squeaky-ass voice.
To do. And really, with this situation being this bad for Schulz, it's not an understatement to say that his career really may be over because just as Schulz did this, now people have been digging into his past where they have found out, just like his buddy DJ Academics and the guy he stands, Drake, they have some weird cases which makes something like he did become even more troubling and questionable because the lines just get blurred of when it starts to seem like even in real life, if what he was saying is fully a joke, because some of the things that have been said about him in the past say otherwise. And now, in typical comedian fashion, for better or for worse, but definitely for the worst here, Schulz now is only doubling down on his comments, as when Meek Mill posted about what Schulz said and did right now, Schulz clapped back and made fun of Meek for being someone who was rumored to be involved in situations of the same nature. And this is just a crazy way to talk when everyone is trying to.
Nah, that's an easy layup. Meek need to stay away from that shit. He's in the Diddy shit, so that was an obvious, that was an obvious one. All right, whatever.
Find one more reason to just take you down forever. And really, with this situation, we are only seeing the start of the consequences of crashing out over rap lyrics because with Schulz, with his entire brand and with how he disrespected Kendrick Lamar, people who have actually been affected by what he is saying, and in general, how he has disrespected hip-hop culture by trying to make Lamar seem like he is the person in the wrong, for the way the genre has retained certain superficial values that his favorite artist Drake has kept prevalent more than ever in this era, which again just shows how delusional and out of
if you grow up wanting to be a basketball player, right? You grow up wanting to be a basketball player, not just falling into it, but wanting to be a basketball player. You want to do all the stuff Kobe did, all the stuff Shaq did, stuff Jordan did, meaning I want these accolades. I want to play in the All-Star game. I might want to be in a dunk contest. I might want to do all this stuff, right? So if you grow up want to be a rapper, you're going to want to wear the chains. You want the girls. You're going to want to go to the parties. You're going to want to. It's just keeping it alive. He's a rapper's rapper. Kendrick is not a rapper's rapper. Kendrick is a secluded, I'm in the house, I'm gonna leave y'all hanging, I'm gonna be, yeah, Kendrick is not a rapper's rapper. He's not outside, he's not influencing. He think he has the influence. I don't think he has the influence that he believes he does. Because the other rappers are not gonna follow Kendrick. That's the difference. Other rappers are not going to be like, oh, let me do this because Kendrick did it. That's not a thing. Now, on the other end, Drake, when Drake does something, it's kind of a movie. But nobody's going to move like that for Kendrick. I don't know how to really tell y'all that. Like, in certain figures you can do stuff, but like Lil Uzi Vert can move certain rappers, but not all. Certain rappers are going to follow Uzi, but not all. Certain rappers are going to follow Kendrick, but not all. A lot of rappers are going to follow Drake. A lot of rappers are going to follow Jay-Z. A lot of rappers are going to follow 50 Cent. It's a different type of archetype. And I don't know how to really word that, but it's just a different caliber. Not to say he's not who he is, salute to Kendrick and all that, but like as far as people following or doing something special for him, not happening.
Touch the guy is, Schulz can't just run away into his own world and let these things blow over because some of his most valuable ventures are directly rooted in hip-hop culture, as he has an entire show with somebody like Charlemagne. And even with how wild and over the line things Charlemagne has said over the years, between his obligation as a leader in hip hop media and with all of his other ventures, this could even change their dynamic forever and maybe even cause the duo to split if Schulz continues to double down on what he is saying. And again, while it's too early to see how all of this ends up and with how much of a conversation this has already been and how much attention and backlash it's bringing Schulz, I'm sure he's going to continue to talk about this and maybe even dedicate more time to it in an actual comedy special for now, due to the way people just can't handle Kendrick Lamar coming at them and calling them out for whatever reason. We have seen another public figure with so much at stake just make such a tasteless move to try and win their back and forth with him. And the outcome could not have been worse, but with people both like Drake and Schulz, the greater question we have to ask is that in these pivotal times when your greatness could come out, how do you manage to not just disrespect people, but also the very art form you try and represent when doing these responses? Because both for Drake and rap and Schulz and comedy, they just never made the respective mediums they created look worse by aiming for such a low bar to call somebody out with. And really, when we look at both Drake and Andrew Schulz in their own ways, when you understand their careers and the places they hold in their respective fields, you will see that they are really two different sides of the same problem. Because when it comes to actually representing the culture of the thing they are from, since they have been deceiving people for most of their careers because they don't actually have the real talent it takes to make it, they just crumble.
Time the fuck out. Don't have the real talent, bro. The fuck is this dude talking about? Now, everybody can say what the fuck they want to, but for the last 15 summers, this nigga Drake been putting on. So, like, what is he talking about? Like, just being honest. Last 15 summers, he been dropping hit after hit after hit after hit. Every year, we done had a Drake hit. He had the longest Billboard streak ever. What are we talking about? What, like, literally, what are we talking about? He's the fucking artist of the decade. What are we talking about? Like, what are we talking about? Like, shit is crazy.
In these times where the most skilled artists show how great they are. So overall, as we see Kendrick Lamar take another person's career away just with a few bars, it's never been more clear that he is the boogeyman, because even outside of rap and hip-hop, he is now causing the downfall of people's careers in far other mediums. And so now with all this said, let me know, what do you think of this entire situation, and do you agree with my stance on all of this? So I can't wait to hear what you have to say on one of the most shocking and out-of-nowhere confrontations we have seen of this year. And if you've made it to this point in the video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. It helps me out a ton. Now, if you want to see how just before this, Kendrick Lamar proved Drake's career is really over with his upcoming tour, check out the suggested video.
Nah, bro, I'm good. This nigga's annoying, but he triggers me. Like, he's fucking good at his job. He's good. Like, I don't know how to really, I don't know how to explain it. This motherfucker gets on my fucking nerves, but I guess that makes it good content because it gives some sort of emotion. Like, I get really, really like, what the fuck is he talking about? Shut the fuck up. But you know how you'll watch something else and have no feeling, like you're not happy, you don't laugh, you're not mad, it's just like, all right, whatever, it's a nothing burger. This is like a ball of hot sauce, and I'm like, it just made me fucking mad, like turn this shit off. But you know what I mean, I made it through. This is like a try not to cringe for me, like shut up. Try not to have an outburst. It's so hard. It's so hard. But salute to my man, what is his name? FHH, whatever, man. Salute to you. Is it a black guy? I don't know, but salute to you in your squeaky ass voice, bro. Well, we will be back. We'll probably do another one of these videos because this seems to be his shit. I ain't see that one, so maybe if that one is within the time frame or whatever, I don't know. I might do it. I might not. We will see, man. Y'all like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. We'll be back with another one. Yikes, man.